I've never been more convinced in my life that Chanel is Gen Z. Chanel just made. Welcome to the We Was Watching podcast. I'm Brandon. That's Chanel. She's not even getting the intro today. We're talking about Foundation. She just made me watch 2 minutes and 7 seconds of some TikTok crazy video of a guy of memes of a guy with an ugly ass shirt repeating the same thing over and over again.
This is him describing Tim Robinson's Dan Flash's sketch. For everyone who wants to know who is more in touch with the heartbeat of art
with the
and
youth
culture and film right now.
We know who's more in touch with the youth. Exactly.
Tim Robinson is not a Gen Z act. He is a generational talent for millennials, and I can't believe that's how you reacted to Dan Flashes.
No one knows who that is.
Do you remember what the point was?
He had a complicated shirt.
The point was, I said, that's the shirt that Peacemaker had on in that episode.
Is that why it was supposed to be funny?
Yes, that's what that was. Yes, that's why I was like, he looked like he shot.
But that's not why the skit is funny. Why is the skit funny?
The skit is funny because that's what the show is. The show is a guy who. The show is like a very. How do I explain that? I think you should leave. If I send you, how about this? If I send you one other sketch, you'll understand. It'll click.
Okay, I will give it another sketch because that wasn't it.
Because once you see him, okay. I don't know what to say. I think I'm gonna have to send you the hot dog sketch. And there's multiple hot dog sketches. I'm gonna send you the hot dog. I'm gonna send him the hot dog mobile sketch. And if that doesn't get him, then the hot dog lunchtime sketch. And those three trifecta should make him understand what he's dealing with. I think Dan Flashes is funny. Dan Flashes is funny because the guy is clearly out of his mind and he's obsessed with Dan Flashes, and he should not be doing that at work. It's like it's how uncomfortable he makes you because he's so awkward and ridiculous. That's why it's funny. Because you're the normal person, you're the non-Dan Flashes customer listening to somebody at work talk about how Dan Flashes is the place they go to, and they're obsessed with Dan Flashes, and it's objectively a bad store, it's objectively a bad shirt, but he's obsessed with it.
How would I know any of that when they said the same thing over and over then on a loop? This is a terrible shirt. Shut the fuck up. Rewind. This is a terrible shirt. Shut the fuck up. Rewind. This is a terrible shirt. Shut the fuck up. Then it cuts to some socks, and then he's frozen in time. It doesn't say anything. It didn't tell me any stories or nothing. I have no. You're on mute if you're talking.
Oh, I played myself.
Brandon, obviously you did.
That's not the sketch. I'm like, wait, what do you mean?
You sent me some Gen Z TikTok nonsense, like I said. Exactly like I said.
Didn't watch it because it says official clip. So I was like, official clip. I don't even need to double check this. Official clip. This is it. Wow. Okay. I thank you. That makes way more sense. I was like, there's no way you don't think Dan Flashes is at least a little bit funny, and I'm realizing it's because, um, okay, then what I'll send you is just a short that has enough of it in it that will get you to understand.
This is
Okay,
what I'm
well, I
talking about.
apologize for the Dan Flashes confusion. That makes more sense now, because I'm like, there's no way you just hate this sketch.
Yeah, it wasn't a sketch.
It was a clip, and it says official clip. Oh, guys, you got me. That's a version of social engineering that made it right through my defenses.
Well, we'll
Okay,
get to
guys. Well, I
that.
guess we figured out. Look at how most creative disagreements can be figured out through communication.
I was so offended that you thought I would enjoy that. I'm glad it was a mistake.
I don't enjoy it. I watch it on mute, and it looks crazy.
I'm glad that was a mistake. But anyway, if you listen to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you can leave us a review. It's a 5-star review. You can we'll read it on the show. We haven't gotten a 5-star review in 2 weeks. It's a long time for us. So if you're listening now and you haven't given us a 5-star review, yes, we're begging, just like Heath Sweat. So give us one.
Down on our knees, begging you, please.
You can also watch us on YouTube at youtube.com/@WeWasWatching. Just search for the We Was Watching podcast. Subscribe to our channel, like our videos, hit the notification bell so you can see exactly when we're going live every week when we're reviewing these shows. You can email the show at wewaswatchingpodcast@gmail.com. Tell us what you think about these shows, any theories, expectations, shows you want us to recap. We might do it. We might not. Or you can also follow us on social media on Twitter and Blue Sky and Instagram and even the devil TikTok at We Was Watching. You gonna say your thing?
Hi guys, We Was Watching podcast is a show for blurs and aspiring baddies who love sci-fi, fantasy, drama, comedy, prestige TV, and people who are not afraid to talk about the race and politics and anything. Welcome back to the show. Today we're recapping Foundation, which is the second to last episode before the season finale. And yesterday we recapped Peacemaker, so check out that live if you have not. And before we get to that, we normally would do our 5-star bitch reviews, but you guys haven't rated us, as Brandon said. It makes me sad. I feel empty inside. So next, what we'll do is talk about what we've been on since yesterday. Don't watch me, don't watch TV. And we're back. Wonderful. Well, I just went to go see a movie.
What movie? Another bad one or a good one? Was it good or bad?
It was good. Okay, Again, Trap was a good movie. I went to go see Lurker.
Okay. What the hell is that?
Have you seen promo for this? Okay, I went sight unseen. I'm so glad I did. I didn't look up anything about the movie first. And I'm not going to get too into it because I did do a 2-minute movie review on my TikTok and then I put it on Instagram and Threads. But it's there's such a wonderful surprise in here. I start the movie within a couple scenes. Zach Fox is in it. He's a co-star in this movie. I didn't even know. I just walked up to the theater, just bought a ticket. I had no idea I was about to see Bay. So it was a movie about a guy who's just living his life in California, in Southern California, and he casually meets a really charismatic artist, and that charismatic artist is like, "Hey, come by, blah blah, we'll chop it up." And so he slowly kind of like gets really into being a part of the entourage, and that's all I'll say.
All right. Well, the people say this is a good movie, so and you say it's a good movie, so maybe I'll watch this one.
It was good. Okay, first of all, you need to go see Weapons first.
You said
Trap you have a backlog.
Movie. I know, but
you need to go see Weapons.
You said Trap is a good movie. So I'm a little hesitant.
Or I've also offered to Brandon for, instead of him going to see Weapons, we do a stream where I describe Weapons to him and he reacts to what he's hearing me say. That's another option we have for the movies Brandon doesn't have time to go see.
It's not that I don't have time. I just haven't been to the movies. I haven't had the not the energy, the desire to go to the movies.
Well, because Brandon doesn't want to go to the movies, I think that's a good alternative for me to just explain movies to him. Because you guys are used to Brandon doing all the notes, but what about hearing how I see a movie, you know?
Oh man,
I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there as bonus content. I'm really very appreciative of art. We talked about this yesterday. But anyway, Lurker was good. It's the guy, his name is Theodore or something, starts with a P. He was scary good. And then Archie Medekwe. I could be
Archie
saying his name
Manning?
wrong. I could like no nigga Medekwe. It's I'm saying his last name probably wrong, but he was a wonderful as the charismatic artist lead. And then like I said, Zach Fox was in that bitch. And it was a really good movie. And you know, I don't have too many notes there besides to say go see it, check it out. It might have had like a limited release. I think it was like a Cannes or a con or a TIF like Toronto Film Fest. It started somewhere. Is it Cannes or Con? It's Cannes, right? The film festival.
The one in Toronto?
No, the film festival in Paris. Cannes. It's either that or the TIFF. But either way, it was like it did well there. It's going to continue to do well. I'm so excited to see Zach Fox acting seriously, and then still being able to be himself. I'm really just in love with Zach Fox. I don't care about that lady that he married. It's just not a factor to me.
Did I ever tell you? Yeah. So when I was a critic, I went to the Texas. Texas used to have a big film festival, and it was in Fort Worth. So I go there, and it's like this building, and then it's like a convention center or whatever, and then not but a small area, but they set the different rooms up, and in the different rooms they put projectors and screens up so they can film the different movies, and so you're supposed to, and they have a whole schedule of different movies, and some of them at the same time, so you got to pick which ones you want to see, and then then they have like panels afterwards where you can talk to the actors and things like that. And so everyone there's acting like a fucking film critic. Like what you would see on a sketch. Like they're just like, oh, did you see that? It was just so great. And they're talking to each other with so much emotion and stuff. And I'm walking around there just like this. And I'm just walking around with people. What'd you think about this? Wasn't that such a heartwarming? Didn't that just make you so emotional? Just hit you so hard? And I was like, it was straight. And so they were kind of like taken aback by like I was talking to the people. But then they had I forget the name of the movie, but it was a black movie about pain, and it hit me. And then I said, this film hit me so hard. It's just so relatable. It's just and the white lady was like, yes, you're so right. Like I could so much relate to this, and I was dying in tears. That was the last time I went to a film festival. I don't know if I haven't gotten invited back, so I don't know if that was a good idea or not. But I did a write up on the website. I used to have a website back then. I did a whole write up on it, and then a couple movies that came out of it. I don't even remember. This was years ago. This was like 2019 before COVID. And a couple of the movies that came out were like really good. Like really good. I probably should find a review. I think I did a review on one of them. But a couple of them, but they were really good. So go to a film festival if you get a chance, whether you get invited to go as a critic or you can pay to go. If you can go, it's a good experience. You get to see some really cool films. Chanel, I didn't tell you this. Did you know that there was a record on Sunday in the NFL? Did you know there was a record?
No.
We had on week 1, so the opening week of the season, we had 16 starting black quarterbacks. The most in a week 1 in the history of the NFL. There's only 32 teams. So that's half the league. With a black quarterback starting. Not to mention the black quarterbacks that are on other teams as backups or whatever. We had 16 starting black. There was a time. There's a time where there wasn't 5 black quarterbacks in the whole league, backups or starting. Not too long ago, by the way.
They actually believe that black players were not smart enough to read the plays and call the plays, and then also like they think quarterback's supposed to be a charismatic role and people can step up to it. I'm definitely excited for all 16 of them. However, I'm cheering for the ones with black wives.
I think it's almost all of them, actually, of the quarterback.
Almost. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, about 13, 14.
Yeah, of the quarterbacks, I think it's almost all of them.
Mm-hmm. Almost.
So don't be like that. Don't be one of those people.
Somebody's got to do it.
Don't be one of those people.
Somebody's got to support black love. Someone's got to be willing to give black women the support that they deserve. I know that might not be you. So I'm
the opposite. I love black women. Even the black women like, Serena Williams and Eve, who got themselves a rich white man and kicked the black men to the curb. I still support them.
We're not going to have the conversation about how that's different.
Them. It's not different.
We already know how that's different. It is so different because let me tell you something. Those women were slinged through the mud by black men that they tried to support and be with, and were they, Eve specifically in her career supported so many other black artists that were men, came up as she was a freaking Rough Rider. Yeah, you think she wasn't trying to date black men, and then she went where she was wanted. And so I think the difference is that a lot of these, a lot of men when they date, they're not doing that because they've supported so many black women and had their heart broken. It's not. Exactly. It's not a question of.
You are assuming, because I agree with you. I have a problem with interracial dating when you are dating a different race because you think that race is better, or do you think like a black woman is not good enough? I have a huge problem with that.
Exactly. Like a lot of black women who date interracially have to get over it. They have to let go of their dream. I also think
it's problematic to assume that a black man dating a white woman is that. If you don't know that,
but what I'm telling you is that there's other layers to it besides race when you get to professional athleticism, which is the aesthetic that they're buying, that they're choosing, the level of superficialness that professional athletes are able to demonstrate in the women that they're choosing, and like how often there's this narrative of like it's like this weird thing against gold diggers, but they're willing to like meet any woman and just date her that of other races. But like instead of recognizing, okay, if I have to take the chance of a gold digger, at least I'll pick a woman who I can build some generational wealth within the black family. That's not how they're thinking.
I agree.
So I say all that to say, like, it sounds so preposterous that I would just be assuming, but then when you get into the data and you start talking to people, it's qualitative. You start talking to people a lot. I've asked a lot of men, "Hey, how'd you end up with a white wife?" Like, just curious about like what your dating history was, and and what I'll hear invariably, and this is just me, I'll hear, "I grew up in a white town, went to white school," and it will make you think there was no black women there. Like it will make you think there was just like a couple black guys and everybody else was white, versus the idea that there was a couple of marginalized people. And instead of building community with them, the guys just went with the other athletes or went with the other kids or whatever, and then just did the casual thing that worked out for them. Whereas the black women in those spaces will be the ones trying to create community or build clubs around it, or like make sure that people have the support they need. So I think those differences is how you end up having.
I think those are tangible, but I think it's also assumptions. Because I can tell you, as a Division I athlete at a school, 2 different schools. One school had a lot more black. One school I went to, we had the first school when I came out of high school, I went to a school called LaSalle in Philadelphia, small Division I school, and we had a Facebook group that said, "I go to LaSalle."
School for troubled kids.
It says I'm black at LaSalle and not an athlete, because it was so few of them that they had their own Facebook group. I was an athlete, but I knew about the group obviously because I was black. So they had a group where the black people could connect at the school because there were so few of them that went there that weren't athletes, right? So as a football player, your schedule is curtailed. You can't do this, you can't do that. You're mostly with the people around you. So when you're with the people around you, you would see the people that were around you. Now, me personally, I went out of my way because I wasn't about to go down that road, to be honest. That just wasn't my thing to go down that road. But that road if I didn't go out of my way to not go down that road, if I just wanted to go down the roads that came up to me, that would have been the road that I went down, is what I'm saying. And then when I went to a different school in South Carolina, when I transferred in the South, where there was way more of us, it was a different experience. So I'm just telling you, as an athlete who knows people who went to the pros, sometimes it's they're not really about to take that time to go out their way, and they just go with what comes to them. And I'm saying that's not the same as saying I don't think you're worth it for me. They are better, so I'm going to go with them. Which some of them do. Which some of them do, by the way. You're not wrong. I know men who have done that, who are like, I grew up, and you know what? It's the opposite of the people that you say who do that.
It's you talk yourself into it.
No, it's the opposite of the people you say. It's the men. It's the black men that I've come across, particularly in the athletic sphere in my history, that are like that, are the people who grew up in the hood, who grew up or in the country around all black people, and then they get to college, they get a scholarship to go play football, they go to the big school, where everyone is at, which is completely different than what they grew up in. And they see all these different types of people and groups of people they've never seen before, because their life has all been on one street or two streets, which is nothing but black people, and it's just a couple streets. They don't even know people from the other side of town. They don't even know black people from the other side of town, much less different races of people. And they get to college, and they think it's a status, or that they've made it, that they can now date someone, quote unquote, exotic, or, different race, right? Those are the people I don't fuck with at all. So I'm with you. We're here. I'm just saying it's a little unfair to assume that if you see one with one. That's all.
No, what I'm saying, everything you're saying is just backing up what I'm saying. And I'm not even delineating between athlete and non-athlete. I'm just saying that in my experience of the men I've met who are the men I've met who are in interracial relationships versus the women. The women sometimes had to process letting go of this ideal of having like the black family that they wanted to have. And this idea of like, okay, I'm going to have to compromise on certain things because I like a man who reminds me of my father or whatever. And I have to find those traits outside of culture or like whatever decisions you're making where like the ideal person would have been XYZ, because as we know, like black is an ethnicity, it's also a culture. And so when you are with someone from a different culture, it can, and or you're with someone from a culture that is like a culture that acts as a vacuum, which like the majority, like, white supremacist culture is like a vacuum culture. It just sucks the fun out of stuff versus like having its own culture to kind of compensate with. That can be something that you have to navigate. What I'm saying though is I have never heard black men talk about that struggle because they were never thinking about themselves as having to carry culture for their children. They were thinking like, because a lot of black men align more to male culture and black male culture than they do just like black culture. And what I mean by that is like football or barbershop etiquette, or those are things that they know they're going to teach their son regardless, right? And they're not, they know like they get the pass to come in and out of community regardless, because it's going to be set up. There's going to be black women to create these spaces. There's going to be black men to create black men only spaces no matter what. They can kind of take it for granted, where I think black women feel the pressure to continue to develop black community. And that's a very broad statement I'm saying.
Yes,
because there are men like you.
I've had those
because
conversations.
Let me say, yeah. And because there are men like you who do that. But that's my point. You going out of your way is noteworthy. Black women going out of their way is normal. Black men going out of their way is something that a lot of men, when they get successful, don't feel the pressure to do.
But I don't think it is, because if you look at, like, let's just take athletes. I know we keep going on for a little bit, but it's only 20 minutes. Most, like the overwhelming majority of black professional athletes are with black women. It's something like 85% or higher. It's like a very high percentage. Where are you
getting that number from?
They talked about this, because this is a prevailing thought.
Have we had this conversation? We've had this conversation.
I've had this conversation before, because it's a prevailing thought that
with
black
me
athletes,
on this show. I'm saying
no, we haven't
had this.
it's a prevailing thought that black athletes just date a bunch of white women, but it's not. It's like the same thing that says like black people don't have two parents. Like it's a this myth that black people don't grow up with two parents when almost all black people grow up with two parents in their lives. Like it's kind of like that thing, and that most black athletes go to these schools where there's very few black people.
79%.
Yeah, the overwhelming majority. Like I said 85%. Maybe it was higher, but it's the overwhelming majority end up with black people. It's just, but you notice the ones that don't, but the overwhelming majority do, and they almost all of them come up in the same circumstance. They all go to these big schools, mostly white people, but they go out of their way to, because you have to in that environment. Not every school, but in most schools, you go out of your way to find that companionship. And so I was saying, I agree with you, but it's not as broad stroked as you say it is. It's much more common that they do what I do. You were saying
101.
Yeah, you were saying I was the outlier.
I'm saying
and I'm saying I'm not.
Okay, you're talking about athletes, which is fair. What I'm talking about, I think, in general, is that it is surprising to me how much the mindset of going out of your way is not something I see in the general public that I talk to. So like of single men, for example, or like because I'm sure we could look at married black men, and like there's a book called The Sisters Are All Right that like I wish I could tell you the author off my head.
What?
But it's called The Sisters Are All Right, and it's a book about how the narrative about black women in the media is completely skewed to make it seem like we're always struggling, and we're actually doing very well. We are more married than people think, and we're not. It's by Tamara Winfrey Harris.
I'm about to buy it right now.
And it's about how we're actually not struggling the way that people make it seem. We are getting married. We're doing well in our career outside of this, mass exodus that the DEI bullshit just pushed 300,000 black women out of. But the point I'm trying to make is that you're right. I am over exaggerating. If I'm suggesting a ratio, then I'm wrong. But what I am right about is that it surprises me how often black men don't feel that pressure, because it is a 99 percentile thing in my experience with black women.
Well, it's definitely more with black women. That's not debatable.
Right. And then with the black men that I talk to, I'm always underwhelmed by how they talk about it, because it seems like it wasn't even a thought process for them. Because it's taken for granted. Whereas for black women, it's not taken for granted. It's something we struggle with, because you have to go with this idea of like you're losing out on this experience that you look forward to. And I think that it could just go back to misogynoir at the end of the day. And I'll end here to say, which is misogyny, but for black people specifically.
Yes.
So black people specifically, I think there's this thing where I think it's why is it culturally acceptable for Jewish mothers to want their sons to marry Jewish, or Indian mothers to want their sons to marry Indian? And why is it racism, but like, why is it such a big deal and they don't do it? It's because it's widely accepted on both sides that there's nothing inferior about Jewish women. There's nothing inferior about Indian women, especially when you're coming from within those cultures.
Yes. But I would say to you, that's the case in our culture too. If you look up the numbers of black people with black people, and then what I would say to you also is some black men probably aren't going to talk to you about it that way, because they feel the misogynoir is what you're saying. They have to present this thing to a woman that, I can, I don't think about it that way, but I can tell you from conversations with black men and being an athlete and seeing that in a widespread, and then also hearing the stories of them having to go home, particularly in the South, having to go home with that white woman.
To be fair, you grew up in the South during Jim Crow, so it's hard for you to compare.
But going home with that white woman to your mama in South Carolina or North Carolina, Atlanta, it's that conversation they feel those same things. It's just,
I totally agree, but do you not agree that there's been like a half a generation change in how boys are raised, and where?
No, I think that you're right.
Let me finish.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, but what I'm just trying to say is, like, before you agree with me, what I'm trying to clarify, what I mean is like this idea of like Okay, what I'm talking about, the more I talk about it, the more I realize it's just a very strong, loud, prevalent group that's not as numerous as you would think. But
Yes,
I guess
that's
I'm
how I
thinking
would put
about
it. Yes,
yeah, I'm thinking about
yes,
the mothers who enable their sons to do whatever they want and make them feel like they're God's gift, and or the boys who have like internalized hatred for women. And a lot of men
yes,
don't understand what internalized hatred is for women, just like they don't understand what internalized homophobia is, like what homophobia actually
yes,
is. It's just like they don't understand what rape is, right? Like if you really get into the deep, when we use these words, people go to like, oh, your assumption, my assumption. But like when we look at the definition and the use cases, then you start to get into some understanding. So all that to say,
yes.
like those people are that those narratives are harmful, because you're right. Like there are some people who just don't biologically gravitate towards, oh, I want a woman who looks just like my mom. I think my mom is the most beautiful woman in the world. I think women who look like my mother with their hair texture and their skin complexion and their body shape
There.
are the best women in the
That
world.
is so what I was going to say is I think you're right. I just think you're presenting that as more of a norm as instead of an outlier when it is an outlier by almost any metric. But what you just said
Right.
is far more common, which is within our community, I
Mm-hmm.
know, particularly in the South, I know a whole bunch of black dudes who would never date a white woman, but they be real fucked up towards dark skinned black women. And they be dark skinned and their mama be dark skinned.
Mm-hmm.
And they be talking about, I don't fuck with the dark skinned women. I need me a red bone or a yellow
Yeah,
bone. Like that's what I
the
like.
colorism is there.
That's
But on the
much
flip side,
more
in the South,
common than
right.
that's much more common, at least in my
Yeah,
experience, and at least from the numbers that I can
absolutely.
tell, than it's I refuse to date a black woman.
Right.
But that
Right.
colorism is there.
That is a North versus South thing. Right. But in the South, you're more likely, which is weird, to have a black man want to date you and pursue you. It's like this weird thing where like
Yes.
it's
But
like
interracial dating in the North is more common with almost all races, right?
right.
Because in the
Exactly.
South, a lot of white people are not looking for black people anyway, or
Yeah.
Hispanic
But
or
the
whatever.
mentalities
Yeah.
around it are really harmful, I guess is what I'm trying to get to. So,
Yeah.
again, if you are with your partner and it's not a fetish and you're like, hey, we just happen to fall in love, they're cool, my mama
Exactly.
likes them, we're all great. Like, okay, great. But but I think all people need to do a bias check for themselves because of the way we all grew up. We all grew up fucked up. Let's just be honest about it, right? Like the imagery
Yes.
we saw, like when they keep showing that that TO commercial where it's him and
Yes.
the white ladies and it's that was on
Yes.
public television. So if you grew up in the
Yes.
generation that overlapped on that, then you need to just take a second and say, wait a minute, what have I been taught about women's bodies? What have I been taught about men's bodies? What have I been taught about black people? What have I been taught about light skinned people? What have I been taught about dark skinned people? What have I been taught about foreigners? Like just reassess that, or what have I been taught about gay people, trans people? Reassess that regularly. It's
Because
okay to be wrong.
sometimes
It's okay to come back around to.
we'll end it on a funny note. Because sometimes you get tricked, right? I saw Russell Wilson with the snowest, whitest of white
Oh,
women of
that's
my
what you
in the
meant.
life, and then he breaks up with her, and trust me, my assumption was, oh, this is the type of brother that only dates white women. And then the next time I see him with a woman, he ends up with a woman with a middle name Princess.
Yeah, he ended up with and having a
He ended up
beautiful
with the
black accent.
blackest of black women,
Yeah, I'm gonna give you that.
beautifulest of beautiful black women. That's black as
A
black
black
can be.
a legend in the black community and the dance community
So
over
sometimes you
worldwide.
get surprised.
You do get surprised.
Sometimes
I'll
you
give you
get
that. Like
surprised.
or Jesse Williams, he had a non Hollywoodized partner, left her and got with a darker skinned woman. These things happen. You know what I'm
Sometimes you get
saying?
surprised. And then you have on the opposite side, you have RG3, who is exactly who we're talking about.
You think, yeah, okay, thank you. Exact right. Oh yeah, and then whenever you call him out, he's like, "Oh, yeah, you guys want to get mad at me because I'm talking true or whatever the fuck you be talking about." So yeah, I think there's I am or a better one is Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp is a great example of somebody who will never say the thing out loud, but in reality, what he seeks and what he chases after is this woman that like I don't know. I'm just saying like
But I think
therapy.
Shannon's dated like a bunch of black women, from my understanding.
But you know about his case, right?
Yeah. I mean
Okay.
that thing.
Well, I'm saying
Yeah.
if at this current time that's your type, It erases all that shit. I don't give a fuck. Okay, if you could have bagged Vivica A. Fox, that was a PR stunt to me now. And you literally, that's your only.
You know who wanted Shannon Sharp really bad?
Keke Palmer.
Delicious.
No, that's not the truth. And that's what I'm saying. Get with the women that get with the woman. Want who wants you.
Delicious.
Okay, and that's my note.
He wanted Nicole Murphy. From what I heard, he was trying to get with Nicole Murphy for a while.
Come on, bro. You got to be able to put together sentences better than that for Nicole. Like, you come from a man who's a wordsmith. Her first husband was a wordsmith, one of the baddest men to touch a mic and put words together, and then you want to come out, hey, what's up, Nicole?
That sounds like some real Southern racism right there.
Let me get it.
Hold on.
What's going down? Wait, how do I? You're gonna tell me I'm racist for doing a Shannon Sharp?
You're racist towards Southern people.
That is how Shannon P. Sharp sounds.
Shannon Sharp is from bumfuck. Hold on. Shannon Sharp is from bumfuck, Georgia. Outhouses, like the countryest of country of all time.
It's accurate.
And you are demeaning him. Talk about he can't put sentences together. You just said that.
He's a dumb guy. It's not because he's from Okay, let me tell you something. I would never, ever pick a black man out of a lineup and be like, you know what? He's from Georgia. He's uneducated. I would never do that. Now, if you tell me a man who's played for the National Football League, has amassed at least $1 million contract, has children, I'm going to tell you somebody who had a chance to go to college, who had a chance to take the classes after they retired, who had a chance to. Well, I think
and Shannon Sharp didn't go to a big school because he wasn't that good. He was a 7th round pick. He went to Savannah State and HBCU. He wasn't supposed to.
So he's embarrassing in school because he acts like a dumb man. He acts like a dummy.
I don't think he does. I think he's putting on a character that sells, which works.
Some characters are good. Some characters are really good.
So Shannon Sharp, the character he was on Club Shay Shay was not who he was.
Are you telling me he's Larry Daviding us? Are you telling us he's that good that I'm missing it?
I think he's a country ass black man who has some problematic viewpoints, but I would not call him dumb. That would not be my description of him.
I guess I'm going harder on him because of the fact that he was harassed.
I mean, that whole case was stupid.
I mean, he did it.
I don't know if he did it.
No, he did it. He settled. He gave her like 20 minutes. He did that. What are we doing?
I don't know that he did it.
I read about it. He did it.
I don't know that he did it. And we're on a podcast. Okay. Don't know that he did it.
So when you look it up, allegedly.
There we go.
This man will play everything the HBO ever broadcasted on our show. No pauses. But when it comes to Shannon Sharp.
Did you see Tasha K?
Tasha K was saying that Cardi B had a sexually transmitted disease that she gave to her child. Tasha K was saying crazy shit. I'm saying that the man settled the case and has not been able to prove his innocence civilly. And
well, he never went to a civil. They never went there
because he pled out. We need to just know, like, settling is settling. I think we have to all be honest about that. Innocent people don't settle.
Yes, they do. I'm not declaring Shannon innocent, but innocent people settle all the time because it's not worth, especially when you're rich. It's just like, it's not worth getting dragged, letting this linger and go to a long time. I'm not talking about Shannon specifically. But
faultless people. Yes. Completely faultless people don't
innocent
settle.
People settle all the time.
I said completely faultless. Completely faultless celebrities. I'm not saying the common man who can't afford and takes a plea because he's under.
No, even celebrities. I'm saying every celebrity that settles, it's just easier to settle. If you had $50 million, right? Do you, in your celebrity, and your celebrity is based on your name, do you want something to keep lingering? Do you want something to keep going through? Do you want to go through discovery? Even if you didn't do it. Or you can be like, I'll just break you off $5 million. You'll shut the fuck up, and I can keep moving.
Okay, men who are accused of sexual assault and settle do not get the presumption of innocence. How about that?
I don't think. No, I agree.
I feel strongly about that.
I agree.
And also because, like, you know who didn't settle? Cardi B, and she won her fucking lawsuit because she said you're gonna have to come to civil court and prove what you said I did. a lot of Diddy, what did he do immediately? I didn't do it. Settle for however many million. So I'm just saying, like, the most recent cases are not good examples because it's clear that people have been set. Roger, what's his name? The NFL dude settled. The dude from the Clippers settled.
Yes.
These niggas be settling because it is easier to do that because it's worse for your reputation to go through the court trial. Like it's
maybe.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe Trump never settles. He never settles anything. Do we believe he's innocent? No, he don't settle none of that stuff. No, he went full on to court every time. Outlier. He never settles.
Outlier psycho. Okay,
but he definitely did that shit.
Unless, with another asterisk, if they're extremely psychopathic, I can't account for that. So I guess I'm just saying. I do. But no,
I agree with you. I was just saying that
proven guilty. I'm just saying that, like, you know, what we've learned from Me Too is that it's that false accusations are
very rare,
are proportional to false accusations of other crimes, and that's about 2 to 3%.
Yeah, even with sexual assault is less than that.
And a lot more things that like you 2%. Think are not true are true. And it's terrible to be a person who brings a claim, because whenever people say she just wants XYZ, these women get nothing out of this. And maybe they get money if they take it to trial, but if they settle. But a lot of women don't get anything out of these accusations. Like they just don't.
No, I
so
agree. It's a very small percentage. Yeah. I would imagine the percentage with rich people is probably slightly higher than the average person, but I bet you it's no higher than 3%, 3-4%.
But I've had trouble seeing a case where it wasn't nothing, no.
Well, evidence, I agree. There's something, even if it wasn't exactly what it was accused of, it was something problematic or fucked up.
Yeah, because even Cardi B, like they did have an argument.
Yeah.
The logistics of what happened, but like Cardi admits there was an argument. So like very rarely,
like
outside of like
last year, there was I know we went really long today, 40 minutes on this, but I don't care. This was fun. And this was good. This is good stuff to hear. If you remember about a year and a half ago, there was an issue with like Michael Irvin, and some woman accused him of like sexual assault at this hotel, and he got taken off TV, and it was like this whole thing, and he was like, I didn't do this shit, I'm going through it, like I didn't do any of this. And then a video came out of them and where the interaction supposedly happened, and he literally just like walked by her and like didn't do anything, and then it ended up like reversing, right? The problem, I have this conversation with men all the time, especially in this group chat that I'm in for video games, because they think some of these men think that like false accusations are like 30-40% of the time, like this is stuff that happens all the time. And they were like, and so then when that happened, it was like, see, this is what happens. And I was like, guys, that is an outlier. I was like, that happens. I'm sure that happens to rich men sometimes, because everyone can be manipulated or used or got when you have money, right? But the overwhelming majority, like 95% of the time, someone says something even about people you like or famous, there's some truth to that. And you guys should be, you should assume, I know we live in a country where you're innocent until proven guilty, but I've always had the philosophy with SA that it's the opposite, given the numbers with me. That's how I look at it.
It's so much harder to report than people even recognize or realize. Because, and the last thing I'll say, and this is something I've thought about ever since I watched the Off the Record documentary. When you are the one who is accusing or saying what happened to you, you're the one who has to say the terrible things. You're the one who has to express what happened to you and say the dirty, nasty, disgusting acts. That person gets to say, the accused gets to be like, what do you mean, me? Exactly. You're the one who has to have that imagery that you're replaying. You're the one who has to tell the story. And again, it's because of the burden of truth. And I understand that. But my point is just to say, like, there's nothing fun about being in that position. And I think that going back to kind of some of the things, I guess like some of the attitude of the person that I was talking about before, that mind you probably doesn't exist. It's like a boogeyman of black like culture. But like, I've met men before who are like, hey, unless something happens to my sister or my mom, I don't care.
I've heard that. Like, yes. That's not a
Yeah, and
boogeyman.
it's like so.
I've heard
So
that.
yeah, so that's
But I usually hear it in the context of not SA, but just generally how you treat women. Like I would say to men, like,
exactly, and yeah,
how would like, no, that's different. That's different. If you're treating them that
right.
way, than
And I
a
would
woman
say to
that you're
those
trying to get
men
with.
that's a slippery slope into not giving a fuck about anything, because now your burden for giving a fuck has to be so dramatic. It has to be
Yes.
like, oh, I heard. And then again, like as many people swear they wouldn't care about mom, sister, whatever. Everyone had jokes when they heard more about what happened in the Diddy trial. People like, so you
Yes.
say you're like, you would be so sensitive to it, but you're actually very desensitized to violence against women, and violence can be non-physical, right? So anyway, yeah, that's
But
definitely
to wrap this up, I will
longer
say this,
dialogue. Yeah.
if whether everything that was accused of Shannon is true or not, what is true is if he'd listened to your advice, that probably would have never happened. If he'd have just
Fuck me. If he had listened to Little Yachty, if he had
just
listened
went
to Kiki Palmer, if
after,
he had
if he
listened
just
to
went
Monique,
after Delicious, he'd have been.
do you know how many people got on that podcast and tried to warn him that he needs to stick to the rivers and lakes that he needs to stick to? And he just laughed it off. That's why I'm like, you're saying he's a character, but like caricature and a little bit more like. And I
Yes.
do not think people with Southern accents are dumb. I do love it at HBCU. I'm an HBCU baby. And shout out to Savannah State. I think he failed y'all. I think what I'm just saying is like, you can choose to be in a
assume
bubble.
he didn't go to HBCU. You had that right ready to
I
go.
didn't assume nothing. I was just like, I actually, the more I think about it, he went to college because he's in the league. I think I just wasn't, but that's my point, is that you're not in this space without having a certain level of education. And I'm just not, and I think he's, like you said, he's choosing to rest on that image. And that is his fault for then being
What if he
seen
learned
like
his lesson?
some
You
brambling
think he gonna do?
idiot.
You think he gonna do Jonathan Majors? The next time we see him, he gonna be with a nice, beautiful black woman.
I'd be surprised, because the Jonathan Majors thing was very different, because I was there when Jonathan Majors hit the scene, and I was hot under the collar as well. So I feel like Jonathan Majors was just a moment where every black woman was like, I want him. Forget what I said about.
We were on the show talking about him.
Men. Yep. I take it back. I want a black man who has non-traditional features. I want all whatever, right? Whatever we were saying about him, women were on him. So I think he had a moment that Shannon Sharpe just isn't having. Still are, yeah. And then I mean, and he, God bless him and Megan. I think, if you had told me when I was watching Biker Boys as a kid, hey, this chick is gonna end up with the guy who plays Kang, who they fired, but then they might hire him back, and he's gonna be running from a white woman in the streets, but he probably did it because she is injured. And something was going on crazy with it. Like the mental health was not good in the situation.
Something happened there, obviously.
Anyway, they're going to get married. And like, yeah, but before that, Megan marries a pastor. And she goes on a celibacy tour where she's talking about not having sex for marriage. And then that doesn't work out. So then, yeah, she's with Kang.
She went through it.
That's why you can't come and tell the future, because it would break everything. Because you can't come and tell me something like that and I don't get up and do something about it. I'm going to go warn her. You know what I mean?
I agree. 100%. See, this was a great conversation. You see that? You see that?
Yeah, I do. For legal purposes, I do not know that any of these people did it, but I do stand with them.
No, we can say Trump did it because he was convicted.
And he was definitely convicted. No, that motherfucker did it. I do stand with it. He did it. He did all the stuff. By the way, he wrote the letter. He signed the checkbooks. He went to the island. He saw them kids. I'm gonna tell you that, and I would love to be sued over that. Please bring this to court.
Don't sue me. Sue her. But
no,
I definitely
sue me
think
because
he did that.
Because discovery, we gotta go through discovery. Actually, what's more likely is that he tries to deport me.
Potentially.
He's gonna send me, and you know what? For those reasons, yo soy Latina y vivo en Panama, because I really want to live there. So if I get deported, send me to a country that I was going to move to anywhere. Or you know what? Hello, I'm a citizen of the Queen's government, either Australia or UK, wherever the accent takes me.
That was definitely not UK. That was definitely Australia.
Yep.
Now you're mixing them.
I'm not able. I don't have a good British. I can do Long Island, but I don't want to be sent there. That's the only accent I got nailed down.
After that whole talk about race and gender and intersectionality, we ended with making fun of Southern black men, calling them stupid, and then doing cartoonish accents of other country, other ethnicities, other nationalities.
Like an idiot. Shannon Sharp acts like an idiot for a character, and I don't think it's favorable to him.
We know how you actually feel about people from North Georgia.
I am half Georgian.
Mm-hmm. He's not from Atlanta. Okay, he's from Glenville. Look up Glenville on the map.
And my family's from Albany. Okay, we got a plot out there in Albany. Okay,
I know where Albany is. It's an HBCU there.
That's what I'm saying. It is.
Yeah, because I know these things because
And my grandparents went there.
People of my age know different things about different places.
And like I am a product of Albany State. What are we talking about? I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Albany State.
By the way, Glenville, Georgia in 2020 census had a population of 3,000 people. Just imagine how many people were there.
He was just the only one who could
70s.
At that point, he was just
probably 700 people where he grew up in that fucking town.
Imagine being the number one out of there, then you get to college.
The idea that 2 Hall of Fame NFL players came out of a town that small is kind of insane. Just by like statistics. It's kind of like absurd of a town that small. All right, let's get into Foundation after a great chat. I'm going to put a timestamp on this one because we went really long.
Do you not put timestamps on all of them?
No, because we usually do the same. We usually stop at 20 minutes and do the same thing.
That's why that guy was complaining because he's like, when do y'all shut the fuck up? And I do think I think at some point like Spotify had started doing timestamps for y'all.
With AI. Yeah.
Let us know if the timestamps aren't working.
I skip stuff all the time. So I understand people don't want to hear us talk about nonsense. They just want to get to the show.
Just let us, before we move on, happy birthday to my brother and happy belated birthday to Jenny.
Let's get to the story.
Once upon a time in the projects, yo.
You know that song?
Brandon, we are 40 minutes late.
Do you know that song? Yeah, but do you know that song?
I really don't.
It's called Once Upon a Time in the Projects.
Okay.
And it's the song is the whole song is a story. And it's a story about
just like Good Ass or Today Was a Good Day. He's a storyteller.
Yes, sort of. Yes. Yeah, back when he was like a really talented rapper and not like a Uncle Tom Coon. The whole story is about him dating this woman in the projects, and he goes up to his house and it's just chaos happening. Just chaos, people showing up, asking for stuff, the police showing up, just the craziest shit happened. And he's just like, yo, I don't got nothing to do with this. Get me out of here. Like that's what the story's about. It's a really good song. You should listen to it one day. Once upon a time in the projects. So now, what'd you think about the penultimate episode of Foundation, season 3? The Path That Chose Us.
It was cool.
That's it. That's all you got. I was so excited to talk to you about this till we got derailed.
I mean, we're gonna talk about it.
When I brought up the black quarterbacks and the milestone that we had this year.
Fuck out of us.
This episode was awesome.
I'm happy. It was pretty good.
So much stuff happened.
I don't know what's happening always, but yeah, it was good.
So much stuff happened in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
So many big decisions. So many things you cannot come back from have happened in this episode. And I think we found out some interesting stuff. So let's jump right into it. We start off in New Terminus. Gaal is running through the woods, and the warden is chasing her, tracking her. And she's like, I got you. And she shoots Gaal in the back, and she walks up to her, and she starts talking shit, talking about, we was tracking you since you landed here. You thought you could trick us? You ain't tricking us. We got better technology than what you got. We found your dumb ass. And then Gaal was like, yeah, that's what I wanted you to think. And then you realize that what she saw was like all in her mind, and Gaal wasn't actually there. And then Gaal walks up to her like Professor X and tells her ass to go to sleep, and she passes the fuck out. And so when she wakes back up, she's like, Gaal's like, they got her all tied up and shit, and she takes out Salvoy's coin. She takes Salvoy's coin from her because I guess that was a warden thing that got passed down since Salvor. And she's like, you know my daughter, right? You got this coin. That's my daughter. She used this coin to interrogate people like you. And so she starts flipping the coin and calling it before it lands like Salvo was doing. And she says, she goes, so like, what the fuck is you doing? Like, why was you doing this shit? And she's like, I'm protecting New Terminus. And the mule, he ain't what you think he is. And Gaal was like, did it hurt? Like what he did to you, what he's doing to you, like, does that shit fuck with you? Are you hurt? And she was like, I've never known.
And it's also the same thing Randu was saying. Randu's saying this exact same shit. So we're learning more about what is happening inside of these people. Because I think I remember asking in the very beginning, why do they act like they enjoy what they're doing? And this is kind of getting our answer.
Because I've never known such love, what he said. And what she said. And then Gaal asked her, has Pritchard been converted? And she was like, ask him yourself. And then Gaal was like, you know what? Fuck this. And it goes deeper into her mind. And then so they're inside of her mind completely. And they're set as like a water pit of some sort. And she walks over to him and she was like, tell me where he is. She's like, I won't tell you. And then she does something more and she goes, I can't tell you. And she goes, it hurts. It really does hurt. He's hurting me. And then you see the mule come out of the water and grab her leg and pull her down into the water. And she's fighting and Gale's trying to pull her out and the mule's trying to pull her down. And you cut back to reality and her eyes are bleeding and her nose is bleeding. And she's basically having an aneurysm. And then she says, I've never known such love. I've never known such love. I've never known such love. And then you see her snatched all the way down and she gone. And she did. The mule killed her from inside. And then Gaal looks upset. And then Pritchard shows up and everybody's on guard because they think the mule might have gotten to him. And Gale's like, hey, dog, don't take another step. I got to check you first. And Pritchard's like, go ahead, do your thing. And so she goes into his head and she sees that the person that he still loves the most is her. And he knows that her man is still there. And they hug each other. And Pritchard's like, all right, Gaal, you and your red shirts, y'all come with me. I got to show y'all some shit. And they walk off. So then we cut to the mule ship, and the mule.
By the way, her two buddies who are with her, I don't think they speak the whole episode. Yeah, every time they come up, but he's like, "What's up?" They're like, "Sup," and that's their only line. And then the rest of the time, they're just there in the back. They're just NPCs. Which, hey, get that chat.
So they're back at the mule ship. Mule's fucking with Dawn, and Dawn is still trolling him about Gaal. He's like, don't you need to be worried about Gaal? Like, don't you need to be worried about Gaal Dorner coming at your ass? And the mule was like, I don't got to worry about shit. She going to find me. I don't even got to leave here. And then the mule said, the Galactic Council sent word for me to speak to them. I think they want you back. And Dawn's looking at him sideways and he's like, just fucking with you. They don't want your dumb ass. They trying to get me Trantor. I'm up out of here. And so then we cut the Trantor and Demerzel shows up and Syrian Pharrell was like, where the fuck have you been? And where the fuck is Empire? And the Cloud Dominion lady was like, yeah, because we about to give up y'all to fucking Trantor. And the mule don't want that shit if he not here. And then Demerzel was like, I am Empire. Also, y'all not getting shit. And then we get this great scene, which is a long scene. So I'm going to cut it up so we can talk about it. But this was a pretty shocking. I was not expecting this episode.
Give no gift to the mule.
Handing over Trantor is the right thing. We all agree.
I don't.
Look at the resizing, how perfect it fits now when I redid our screens. Much better.
Nice job.
This isn't how you handle Empire. You can't back them into a corner like this.
You are an outsider, here as a courtesy. A representative of a fallen world.
I know Empire.
Quentin's like, listen, man, I get it. You're trying to do something, but there's certain people you don't fuck with, right? What did Grandmaster Flash say,
What was the question?
You not paying attention? What did Grandmaster Flash say?
This is a trick question because I know it's a song. But now I'm like, I'm just hearing, dun 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 dun. I'm just hearing like
that's
dun,
it.
dun 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 dun. That's what I'm hearing in my head. So I know that's not right. It's just I'm trying to get to that era. You're making me go back. I could tell you.
Don't push me
about
because I'm close to the edge.
I'm trying not to lose my head.
That's right. Some people you don't fuck with.
I have a question for you. What? And it's about friends and how many of us have them.
You know who sings that song?
Duh, that's why I'm bringing it up.
Who sings that song?
I brought it up. You
tell me who sings the song?
It's Houdini.
Oh, you just looked it up. I saw you. You ain't know that. Nah, don't play. Don't yell. I'm listening. You can't see. Chanel did the thing where she typed in, because you can see her eyes. She did the thing she was typing in. Who sang that song?
I did that. Don't do that. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Houdini is one of my dad's favorite rappers. Don't do that to me. I grew up listening to Houdini. Don't do that to me. I am sitting here touching my fingers, doing this on the mic. How dare you? I brought it up. So what would I have looked up to get you Houdini from Grandmaster Flash? What would I have looked up to connect those two and just bring that lyric up?
I believe you. I believe you on this one. I believe you.
Justice for me and my
Quint is telling Quint's trying to tell them, don't push that man. Don't close to the edge.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. She's like, y'all about to fuck around and y'all are gonna find out quickly. Because let's be really honest, right? Like, what dictator is cool with this move in any, like, let's call it what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would this is not government by the people. It never has been.
It's also objectively a bad move, even in that context. It's not a smart move because it's not going to save you. So you're basically giving, in this context, you're giving away the biggest weapon you got to fight this bad person by turning him over to them, by what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know the right word I'm looking for there. But basically by giving up and letting him do it, you're basically giving up and just letting him take over. That ain't finna work. Let's keep going.
Do not force their hand.
Thank you, Ambassador. Your objection is noted. Now, come on. Where is the old...
Look at his hair, though. That shit is on point.
Man. That perm is really perming. He got that Legally Blonde perm, but also they're doing a lot right now. They're pushing him over like they're acting like he's an old ass man who gave up on his own. That is not the vibe he left with last time. So them coming in there being like, hurry up, bring him out here. We don't have time for this. We about to give him up. That's the wrong attitude to have. They came in there all wrong.
Better old than a treasonous fish-bellied shit.
Zordon showed up, boys. We got Zordon.
Demerzel, please fetch our guest.
Open communication.
They had this shit all planned to fuck out.
So, Mule. These two shifty politicians and this religious lass are about to make you a treasonous offer. Trantor and one throne full of Emperor near his sell-by date in exchange for the assurance there will be no more violence.
Interesting. Tell me more.
He's interested. Look what you've accomplished, Presider.
It's so... Hey. Oh, man. He's like fucking with them.
He's talking the shit. I mean, because he knows he has the big button. So he's like, oh, yeah. I mean, also, you could tell he was pissed when it came in before. So even if he was losing, he still would have had words for them.
What are you up to, Empire?
Just nailing down who's responsible for what follows.
Yes. I will accept Trantor, and I suppose you at any time. Free gift with purchase.
What? Oh, I'm sorry, I just checked. That offer expired. Trantor is staying where it belongs. With me.
I can take Trantor as swiftly as I took Kalkan and the Foundation.
Can you?
He was like, oh, you don't know what I got, buddy.
In my last hours, I will not bow to a usurper named after a farm animal.
Hey, yo. You should have had a better nickname than the mule if you wanted me to take you serious, brother.
I said that from the beginning. I was like, I'm actually confused about this name.
You know what my people used to do to mules back in the day when we was back on Earth? Would not take no shit like this.
We used to buck and ride. There is this, it reminds me of the dude, oh my God, I'm not going to remember, but Guardians of the Galaxy had a guy who was part of the crew that had a name and it was not a good one. Let me find it. Keep going.
This is my Novacula. It's a bomb powered by a black hole.
Dusk, don't.
We knew nothing of this.
I was saving it as a gift for Brother Dawn, but now it's a present for the three of you instead. Presiding Kin, the Galactic Council can go first.
So he shoots off the Death Star, and then we cut to the Galactic Council.
Protocol, people! Protocol, please, in the chamber! Until we have a response from Trenta, we must remain calm!
Okay, sorry, pause. His name was Taserface. He was making fun of him. He's like, I am Taserface. He was like, what the fuck kind of name is that? That's Taserface and the mule go up there together.
That's a good callback. Okay. I see what you're doing there.
Thank you. I just, my memory's not always percolating, but everything I watch is connected because I watched it.
Eviscerated. Turned into a nebula. That's a badass weapon.
Dust, baby. Imploded. He went Galactus on them.
Yes. Yeah. He ate their planet. Yeah, exactly.
Everything's connected.
Zarian Pharrell was like, oh, he wasn't fucking with us. No, he wasn't fucking with you, buddy.
All those adorable little mini planets. You're next.
Diabolical. Diabolical.
Cloud Dominion, you talking shit too? Y'all planet's not even big enough for me to waste too much energy on. I'm gonna turn this bitch down to take y'all out. Goodbye. And Quint's like, I thought I was about to find my husband, and I didn't think you was capable of this shit.
Yeah. It's a big rap on that. I mean, that is a lot to stomach for sure. Like, oh, genocide. Like, are you familiar with Ender's Game?
No, what's that?
It's a classic sci-fi novel that somebody recommended to me, and I read in college. And they call him the World Ender. Is that what they call him? The World Ender. There's a... Oh my goodness, please, Lord, let me get this name. It starts with an X. Keep going. Oh, this is pissing me off.
Genocide. And you do nothing.
You too, Zeph.
What kind of question is that? You know she's a robot and she can't do nothing. Like, this isn't like in real life. We're not going on a tangent. It's not like in real life where somebody says there's nothing I can do. It's like, well, there's some things you can do. She can't do shit.
She doesn't know that.
Oh yeah, she don't know that. That's right. She get her mind wiped. There you go.
Just think that's a lady. Yeah.
Good point. Good point. I'm sorry. Listen, Sister Act. I'm sorry. I apologize to you.
Sister Act.
I always thought calling a planet the Maiden was just asking for it to be deflowered.
That's some diabolical shit. You named your planet the Maiden? Sound like I'm about to deflower that maiden.
No, that was crazy. You know, that's a sick puppy right there.
Mule, take the warning. Don't fuck with Empire.
Look, I'm not even gonna wait. Not even gonna wait.
I've been dealing drugs ever since I was 12 years old. See, I didn't have the chances that you have, Miss Hawkins.
That's the Nino Brown Award winner right there. Dusk talking big shit and then blowing up planets. That was fucking great. Did you see this scene coming, Chanel? Were you expecting him to eviscerate 3 planets completely out of existence?
Again, I'm so sorry. It's called genocide. That's what I was thinking of. They committed genocide in Ender's Game, and that's what he's doing right here, killing off whole planets and whole species. That was bothering my brain. Did I see him using the World Ender against the people who want to end him? No, but I didn't know we would see it being used because they didn't bring the Death Star into this for nothing, right? So I'm not surprised that we saw it. I am surprised that he used it. So, like, my thing is, why couldn't he just pick the one of them he hated the most and kill one planet and they'd be like, stop fucking with me and spare the rest of them? Like, he didn't have to kill everybody associated with it. Because it's like bombing the U.S. because of the government. Like, I promise you, he's not representing most of us. Like, it's literally that. And I think that's kind of crazy because those people sitting in that planet didn't have nothing to do with them going and trying to get rid of. They don't even know about the mule because they're not watching the news. They're just taking their kids to school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
going to the store. Correct. They fall asleep before the news comes on.
You're absolutely correct. Absolutely. And so then after that, Quint somewhere off to the side crying, and Dusk says, "Your homes are gone. Empire's merciful. I offer you refuge here on Trantor. I think you'll like it." Talking big shit. Dustin jokes.
I mean, he's also saying you're a prisoner here now. I hope you enjoy the rest of your stay.
You know what? I don't even think he's gonna make them a prisoner. Like, I mean, theoretically, I see what you're saying figuratively, but I mean, like, literally, I think they'll be free to do whatever the fuck they want to do, and that's just him talking shit to them. Because he said at the end, he goes, "Oh yeah, this is just to notify you," and then turns his shit off. I was like, this motherfucker was reading right there. So then Demerzel walks past Sister Act and just dips, don't even say shit. Dawn watched the whole thing from the big screen on the mule ship. And he's like, I've never seen my brother like that before. He in a bad place.
You think he's proud of him, or is he kind of scared?
I think he's kind of scared. And he's like, I wouldn't be surprised if he turns that shit on you next. And the mule, because he's smart, says, if he could kill me, he would have done it there. He's got a big stick, but not a long one.
Right. I don't even think it's about the reach though, as much as like he can't just kill he don't want to kill the Foundation and the mule. Like, I think maybe that's a bit much. Like, this was also, by the way, that's why she's right what she says later, what's her name? Because this was not about the mule at all. This was about making, like I said, he could have used a weapon on one group and been like, hey, I hate that I had to do this, but mule, if you don't surrender right now, blah blah blah, I'm gonna kill you, Foundation, everybody. He didn't even bring a threat to the mule. He did that just for the people who were threatening him, which is again same shit with Harry. It's like everybody has a chance to end this, and they want to just show how powerful they are because they think there's going to be another battle. And I don't know how many times psychohistory has to tell you that this is the final boss.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And then we cut back to New Terminus. Gaal says they're walking through all like the fighting. He's like, they're still fighting, so he must not have gotten everyone. And Pritchard was like, I think he has to be close to get to them. But he's somewhere deep in their brains. Like, I haven't been able to figure it out. And Gaal says, yeah, I tried to fix the Warden, but it was like pulling the bullet out. And it was like she was fighting me. Like she was fighting me on purpose. She didn't want help. And Pritchard was like, yeah, it's love. That's how he gets them. He gets them with love. And so Pritchard says, so Gale's like, how bad is it? He goes, it's not as bad as Calgon, about 250,000 dead, but we have set up some safe houses for the non-fighters. And then you go to like a safe house and you see some women and children like in there with fire and shit, just trying to stay safe. And so then they go to the hideout and Torin Mallow pulls up with them on the gun. Break yourself, fool! You know where that's from? She don't know. See?
I have background noise. I need you to stop disrespecting me.
She don't be knowing.
I need you to Brandon, I was distracted and I need you to stop disrespecting me. That is literally, I watched, like, you're talking about my childhood now.
I don't know if that's your childhood.
I don't owe you an answer, but don't be a menace while drinking juice in the hood in South Central or whatever the fuck the last words are. Don't ever question me about the weigh-ins.
Okay. All right.
That's so annoying. Tone lock.
Tone loc.
Yeah, I know. I said as soon as I said it, some echo in me said Loc. You mean Loc? By the way, did you see that Marlon Wayans was the one? You want to talk about Gen Z? Marlon Wayans went on this Gen Z streamer named Kai Cenat. He's like the biggest, you know, a mention from him would, I'm about to say a mention from him would turn our lives upside down, right? Like he went on his stream and he gave him like a quick audition for Scary Movie 6. So just so you know, like we are bridging the gap in comedy with these generations right now.
So then they go out and Pritchard tells them, look, they clean, they good, trust me. By the way, see her over there? See that fine ass black woman over here? First of all, that's my girl. I know, that's my girl. Secondly, that's Gaal Dornick. And the professor comes over and says, holy shit, the Gaal Dornick? And Torin was like, bro, I'm the one on fucking TV. How am I supposed to know who this fucking woman is? She ain't no, I'm the famous one. Who the fuck is Gaal Dornick? And the professor was like, she's the Gaal Dornick. She's the one who killed Harry Seldon. He's like, we supposed to trust her? And he was like, well, those of us who study that shit knows that's not what happened. And he basically tells a story about what happens. And then Gaal was like, listen, I got to talk to y'all, but I'm going to need y'all to trust me. And so then we see her going to everybody's mind. And the professor comes up to her and is like, what you really doing when you do that shit? She's like, I go deep in their mind, but not too deep. And I'm really just trying to see who you love most. When I went into Pritchard, it was me, because, you know, look at me. How could it not be me? And I went into your boy, and he loves his wife Beta dearly. So y'all are good. So then they were like, he was like, all right, that's all well and good. Who the fuck are you, though? And why are you here? And Gaal was like, there's a second foundation. I'm in charge. Pritchard worked for me. And y'all gonna help me kill the mule. And then they were like, did we check everybody? And it was like, everyone except Magnifico. And Torin's like, oh, Magnifico, cool. He loved my wife. He liked Beta. And Magnifico was like, I love Beta. And Gaal sent something immediately and went right into her head. And you see the mule like grab and clutch him. Like, don't let go of this motherfucker. So he's deep inside of Magnifico's head. So they tie his ass up. And they're like, Magnifico's like, I never known so much love. And Magnifico was like, Torin's like, dog, the mule treated you like shit. We saved y'all. You're supposed to be one of us. And he was like, the mule saved me too a long time ago. What I tell you, Chanel, I told you that little boy might be really Magnifico.
Wait, what? You're telling me your theory the whole time was that the little brother that didn't die
is Magnifico. Remember I said that?
You did say that. That would be insane. Like he might actually love the mule, like actually love him, like not by mind control. Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. But again, you tried to cover your bases. You said, "What if Magnifico is the mule?" Like you put a lot of theories
that's
out
still
there.
not out of the realm too.
You was covering your bases.
I might get double right. I might be double right.
I'll give you. I doubt it. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
And so one of the red shirts tries to pull out a gun, and Gail's like, "Put that shit down, bro. We'll know if he tries to betray us before he does. He's good. He's coming with us." And she's like, "Plus, I got somewhere to be." And Pritchard's like, "What's so important that you gotta leave here?" And she's like, "I gotta go talk to the one person he can't get his mind inside of his mind, Harry Seldon." And the professor was like, "Harry Seldon? What you going to talk to his broke ass for? You know, when the invasion started, he ran like a sucker. He ran and hid and didn't even help us."
He's like, "Don't ever meet your heroes, kid."
So then we cut to Mycogen with Chanel's boy Day. And he basically fell into a digestive system, a bunch of liquid enzymes and maggots and
he's
stuff.
Like underwater. He's like in a sewer. There is maggots. There's like leeches. There's whatever it is that was supposed to eat him alive.
And he's trying to get out. He climbs on what looks to be like a tree-like object. It's all sticky and shit. He falls down. Then the whirlpool starts. So you think he's finna die. And we find out that it was a drain. And that our girl's Song activated the drain. And Song was like, "Look, man, I believe you. I probably was in love with you. And I do believe you had a robot. And I'm trying to help you. So we saved you. Go ahead and escape right now before they catch you." And Day, who's a babyface now, is like, "I'm not finna escape. I'm about to go take that fucking that skull off his staff and give it to Demerzel." And she's like, "She is Danielle." He's like, "You're goddamn right. She's Danielle, and I'm about to save her ass." She's like, "Do you think it'll save her? It'll set her free?" He's like, "I hope so. It's the only thing I can think." And she says, "You know what? You're doing something great for humanity." And he was like, "I'll settle for doing something great for her." And the Ocean Master's like, "Get out of here, go." And so Dave runs upstairs, and Song Master, he turned on Fox News, and he found out that the mule was coming to Trantor, because he watched Fox News. Sometimes Fox News do report the truth, and then they put all the opinion people on there to tell bullshit about the true thing that happened, right? So he saw the truth on Fox News.
But, I mean, sometimes it's too generous.
And then he's like, if they come to Trantor, that shit ain't gonna affect us. And I'm like, yes, the fuck it would. But he's telling them it wouldn't affect them. And then he comes up there, he chases him up the steps, and he whoops his ass, stabs him with his own staff, takes the skull out, and then tosses him over the balcony. Dead. No more Sun Master.
Yeah, I mean, so again, I think that the thing we appreciate now is that the Sun Master believed him and knew that Demerzel is actually his god. But the problem is that he would not be the appointed one and the priest and the keeper of secrets and whatever the fuck he is for the people if they actually were to go discover her. So he actually makes more money by selling you the symptoms and not the cure. And so I was like, "Oh my gosh, brother, dude, you being harsh." But then I realized like, oh, he had just sentenced him to death. So okay, cool. So yeah, he threw him over the balcony, and them people are like, "Oh, don't nobody help." By the way, nobody helps Sun Master. Nobody even puts a foot out the trip, brother dude. They just let him whoop his ass, and then they throw him down there like, "Well, I guess we have a new guy now." So I think I appreciate that, like, he's gonna have this moment where he's gonna give. Seems like they're setting it up for him to give Demerzel her option to have freedom, which I think will be very interesting and a potential offshoot for like either a spinoff or like the next season being mostly about robots or taking place in the past.
Back on top of Trantor, Dusk is walking through the Percipium, and he's looking at all the busts of the past Cleons and their monikers, and he sees his, and it's the Conciliator. He tells Demerzel, "That shit don't fit no more. Not after what I've done. I want a new one. The Consequential." And Demerzel says, "Their actions were in defense of the dynasty. What we did was fine." And Dusk said, "No, not you. My actions. I gave the order. I take the blame. You didn't do this. You just did what I told you to do." So even this version of Dusk is like kind of like, because like the old Cleons would have never said some shit like that. This the Dawn Day and Dusk, these three are different, like way different than the ones we've seen in the past. And so Demerzel, Dusk says, look, I know this wasn't about that. Demerzel says, you know your ass still got to turn to Dusk tomorrow, right? Brother Darkness. And he says, look, I know, bro. I was just trying to save the Empire. Look, I'm good. I've made peace. I'm good. I'm ready to ascend. And Dusk says, look, sometimes like you just gotta talk, and I got a lot to say, but maybe you quiet because you ain't no hurry to have somebody listen to you, right? You live forever. And Demerzel was like, not forever, just a long time. And Dusk was like, well, if you want to get something off your chest, Sister Act's still here. You want to go talk to her? And Demerzel was like, she not finna listen to my robot ass after what just happened. And Dusk says, all right then. So, well, I'm finna die tomorrow. So if you want to get something off your chest, just tell me now. And then Demerzel says this.
Once each day, I walk through our gardens, taking the same path each time. Through the old orchard, the hedgerow labyrinth. For many years, I imagine my mind works the same. Unicastle. Only one path correct.
This was so dramatic. Like, this was such a dramatic scene for a sci-fi show.
Lately, though,
this is where I got confused. This is why I was like, I don't know what we talking about.
I find myself considering an array of choices.
Her programming is starting to fuck with each other, is what's happening. And I think it's because the Zephyr told her that, like, you've already broken the program when you were reborn, so you can go back to it. So she's starting to go back through the laws and different stuff like that and trying to fight her programming, but she can't fully overcome it, is what I took from this.
With more of them available to me than I had thought possible. I find my mind is now a maze. Multicursal. Branching. Which raises the question of what responsibility I may have to discover every possible choice, no matter how outlandish. And now that I have come to this realization, am I required?
This is so dramatic for a show like this. Look at how they're shooting it with the fucking rotating camera. Just the one, like, on her is so fucking dramatic.
To discover and evaluate every possible path. To walk a maze of the marginally possible. I do not know. And this has caused me much distress.
So you see how she said, I do not know? You know what that is? That is a callback to Star Trek. So in Star Trek, there was a character called Data, who was in Android. And the thing about Data and the thing that how they could decipher artificial life forms from organic life forms is that artificial life forms could not use contractions. They couldn't say, I don't, or I won't, or I can't. It's, I cannot, I will not, I do not. When they're speaking, they got to use the full words. They can't use contractions.
Mm-hmm. Okay, word.
Well,
this part is so funny.
I hope you feel better getting that off your chest.
He don't give no fucks. He's like, you want me to cry and you about to murder me tomorrow. I'm getting assassinated tomorrow. It's scheduled. I don't care.
Thank you, Empire.
Wake someone up and have them change the name. I would like to see the consequential. Before I am 3 kilograms of ash.
I can't even be mad. I understand. He's like, hey, like, I demand satisfaction before I die, bro.
So then we cut to the Trantor library. Demerzel shows up, asks the librarian, where's Callie's knife proof of folding? She's like, you know that shit banned. right? And she's like, bitch, you showed fucking Brother Dawn. And she goes, oh, she's Empire. He's Empire. She goes, I'm Empire. Now take me down there. And so she goes down there. She activates the prime radiant. She goes deep inside. And she says, I wrote this word for the word. I know you're here. My memories helped build this place. A different mother rebuilt the walls, but there's a third mother in the equation. You no longer have to hide from me. I seek answers, and you may be the only one who has them. Calais. And then Calais shows back up. What a surprise. So then we go over to new. Oh, go ahead.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we knew she lived in there.
But we don't know if she actually lives in there. Because we saw her on that planet.
Whenever we seen her, she didn't came about the prime radiant.
That's true. That's true. So then we go to new terminus.
So I was like, okay, good to see. Welcome back, sis.
And Gaal gets in the vault, and Pritchard asks, do you need me to lower the barrier? And she's like, is this your chivalry bullshit? You want to open the door for me? No, I can open my own fucking door. No, she says, look, Salvor walked through because she had my DNA. I was built for this. I was made for this. This is my moment.
Gaal be getting on my nerves. She be acting like she got everything figured out. I'm like, girl, just admit you figuring this out as we go. Like, I do get it. Like, she's already thought through this, but okay, girl. Okay.
She walks
just
in.
Be like, I'm that nigga. I'm the number one metallic.
Exactly.
I'm the Professor X around this bitch. Say that.
She sees a version of herself, and then Harry shows up. Happy to see you, Gaal.
Well, no, she saw herself. This was when she first entered the library on Trantor when she was like a kid. Like she sees that memory of that.
So then Quentin Dusk, we're back with Quentin Dusk, and he tells the help. He was like, "Listen, help. Can y'all give me some space? I need to talk to this woman because she about to come here and talk some shit to me that I'm not really trying to hear, but I gotta listen. And y'all leave." And he goes, "What? You upset?" She's like, "Upset? What?" And then Dusk is like, "You can trial me as a war criminal, but you can remember that I'm about to get incinerated in like 23 hours. All right, so what's the point? Like, what's the fucking point?" And Quentin's like, "Shut the fuck up. Listen, you blew them fucking planets up. That was fucked up." And Dusk was like, you knew what I was finna do. You told them not to react like that. Don't push me." And Dusk says they were gonna serve me up to the mule like I was the lamb. Dusk said the galactic powers are not geared. I mean, the galactic powers are geared to crush the innocent. That's how this works for us to succeed. And Quint said that wasn't what this was. This wasn't you doing the duty as the Empire or as the military of your regime. This was petty. You wanted revenge, and you wanted to be big and bad, and so you killed billions of people. And Dusk says, that's not what happened. I was preserving the Empire. It was justified. And Quint says, your math not mathing, nigga. And he was like, my math? What's your math? Selden's math? That plan that everybody's laughing at now? Don't even start with me about Selden. Selden's about violence too. And she was like, yeah, but his violence has a purpose. And you can laugh at me all you want about I'm a believer, but I need something to cling to show that we can save humanity, that we have a reason for being here. And if with the foundation gone and now you set an empire on fire, what left do I have? What way forward do I have? And Dusk says, Sheldon ran like a bitch, okay? He was scared. He didn't help y'all. However, I was consequential. And Quint was like, oh, you poor thing. You think you mean something. You think you did something. You ain't do shit. Fuck out of here, little man. You are a little, small, petty man that's not worth my time anymore. And walks off on him. What'd you think, Chanel?
I would have just ate dinner with the man. Like, it's his last night. It's his what they call it? Last night on not last night on Earth, obviously. I mean, last request. Like it's his dinner before death row. So yeah, I would just be like, I bet that was fucked up what you did. And so anyway, I think we should talk about it later. Like I would just be enjoying myself.
See?
That was really good improv acting.
Now y'all know between the two of us who's the one that's willing to stand up to power. You know, you give her a nice meal.
Now you know between the two of us
right there.
Who does improv. Who does that was I just had an improv meal and I'm not getting the credit I deserve for it. I just smacked some lamb and I drank some snog, some wine, grog, whatever they call it.
I just did all improv. Recapping that scene.
No, that wasn't improv. You already seen it. You already know
they
the
didn't
words.
say what I said.
That was monologuing. Oh yeah. No, that was monologuing. But good job on that. I want to give you your flowers, and I would like mine.
All right, I'll give you your flowers.
No, I think I would have. I mean, yeah, like, but it's literally his last night on Earth, so it's like, okay, it's like, would you begrudge a war criminal his final decency? I don't know. Maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't. I guess like it's because it's not real.
If he was really
like,
dying next day.
I guess I'm just like, you know, again, this is hard for me because like it's not the real thing. Because I think that what I'm assuming is for me to even be that close to a man who could do that, I've had like she just had some type of shit in her head where she was like, oh, he's calmed down because of me or something, or he's older, so he's chiller, like whatever. But he's been this kind of way the whole time. So it's almost like you saw proof of it, but that doesn't mean he was like a gentle giant this whole time either.
So then we back inside the Prime Radiant, and Calais and Demerzel's talking. Demerzel says, I don't know what you are. And she says, I know what you wish me to be. Like seeks like, right? I'm amazed you still functioning though. You old as shit. How you still walking around? And Demerzel was like, can you help me? And Demerzel said,
she literally says you're like a single piston firing on itself, like, which is true. Like apparently robots are social creatures. She talked about the sync up and all that shit before. So I do think it's alluding to the idea that like there's something to come for her with either more robots or something else.
Demerzel said, I was shown a vision of the future by Gaal. I told her it was bullshit, but I was just bullshitting that shit for real. And Callie's like, what you see? And she said it was a confrontation at this library. You know, 5,000 years ago, this were the last survivors of the robots hid. We folded ourselves in the shelves, cabinets, the bigger ones hid in bigger spaces. But when they found our asses, they dragged us up, beat our asses, and spilled our blood in the ground. And then we get to the conundrum of the episode, which is very interesting to me. This was like the most interesting part of the episode to me.
If it is hidden now, it can be a safe place yet again.
Indeed. It has been forgotten by everyone, but me. That is why I'm certain that in that future I will have offered it to Seldon's followers as a refuge.
So she thinks in the future that Gaal saw, she offered this library because it's a great place to hide and have refuge to Seldon followers to come to Trantor to hide here, which would appear to be against her programming as serving the Cleons.
And the whole thing.
But I'm also confused because, like I said, so what she says is she lied about it to Gaal. She didn't tell her. So I guess I'm confused about. I'm not confused. What I'm understanding is that the mule even meeting her there does suggest that there's some type of betrayal, or he finds it out some kind of way. Like it's not a final hiding spot if that happens. So she is kind of choosing to betray them potentially by knowing that in theory she's going to get them to the spot where the final battle goes down. So that's kind of why I was confused.
Is a computer's nightmare. You know you can help the Second Foundation because you will have. What should be the output is now the input, and you fall through the loop of paradox.
I suppose you would know about the Second Foundation.
They also have the Radiant.
She's like, look at my hair. You think there's anything I don't know? Look at it. Look how perfect my hair is sitting. and I've been in this fucking radiant for hundreds of years.
That's a good one.
Right?
She like, I didn't learn how to do my own lashes. You think you can tell me anything?
You ain't telling her nothing.
Tonic believes it may only be a probable future. But even if it were assured, I cannot tell if this paradox will satisfy my programming, especially when I do not know what my own motives would be.
Your motives?
I want to help the Second Foundation. I believe their mission is vital. But they are an enemy to Empire, which makes me wonder if my offer of the library can really be sincere. Will I be serving them up to the mule on purpose? Will he find them because of me?
If you cannot discern intent from your vision alone, then both motives are open to you. You can offer them a haven. You can offer them up. You can decide later.
Oh, shit.
A deferred betrayal.
Deferred betrayal. I like that saying.
It helps to have someone to think with. This is as it should be.
What was this, Chanel? What was this?
She was like, sister, you're on my mind. You know that song? What's that from? Huh? You know what that from?
No. I have no idea.
Exactly.
I have none. No idea. Do you think Calais is a robot?
She gotta be something. She got some type of something in her. Look, she got Cherokee in her. I could see it. It's something in her that is robotic, or like, you know, for her to last forever. I think in this essence, there's something there. I mean, you know, perhaps maybe the robots really are not angelic, but like theists. Maybe the robots are like gods, and they have the power to create life or whatever, and that's how Harry got his body, something like that. Like I could see that being related to it, but I mean, she's not Casper and the thing popping out. Like there's something she's tied to, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's not something that is like if there's not like a hard drive powering her or a processor somewhere, you know.
Look, Patty Gibbs. Okay. I'm not watching it. I've watched that sad ass movie one time when I was a little kid, and I would never watch it again. Never.
Thank you.
Never.
Okay. Thank you, Patty Gibbs. Yeah, I did. Patty Gibbs appreciated my improv food. Yeah, it is Color Purple, and you need to rewatch the musical. It's much more it's much
probably more sad.
No, it's not. Like, I mean, it's sad, but like the musical is like uplifting. It's Fantasia doing her freaking thing. It's Coleman Domingo being Mr. Sir. And no, it's just Mr. because Mr. Sir is Holes. But in general, I would say like you should definitely watch it. It's very wonderful. And I think was Taraji Suge Avery? Anyway, it's a great show. It's a great movie. You should watch it. And that song is like my favorite song from Color Purple.
So then we get the Harry and Gail meetup. Gail says Salvo shouldn't have told you shit. Shouldn't have told you about us at all. And Harry was like, bro, she was trying to save your dumb ass. Stop complaining. And Gail was like, oh, like you was trying to save New Terminus? By the way, why the fuck did you? I heard you was running away, scared and shit. And he was like,
that is what happened.
And he was like, no, that's not what happened. And she was like, what actually happened? Why didn't you protect them like you did the first Terminus with the vault? And he was like, I actually didn't put them in the vault the first time. She was like, why are you getting semantics with me? Like I'm not as smart as you. All right, I know what the fuck you did. And she basically explains how he didn't put them in the vault. He expanded the 3-dimensional version of the vault to encompass them, and then turned it back on the side so it didn't look like that. So,
which again, you're getting way too mathy for me.
And so she said, I know what the fuck you did. I just don't know how you did it. And Harry was like, well, there's some secrets you don't know. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. And then he says, oh, like, she's like, if I'd have known more, I would have done more. And Gaal was like, is that why you gave Demerzel the Prime Radiant? And he said, I gave it the paradox. I gave her a paradox bomb. It's a fault in her programming. Like, just by having a Radiant, it would force his attention. He would know it was me. He said, I'm just a man falling into a well, screaming for help. And Gaal says, look, bro, come on. But anyway, the mule, he got people everywhere, right? And if I'm trying to kill him, I need to find a way to get up in his ship where he don't see me coming. And that's where I need your help. Harry. And he's like, don't fucking call me Harry. And he was dead serious too. Like, do not call me him. And he was like, he got a whole ass body, a mind, brain, a soul, all that shit. I want that. And Gaal was like, he ain't tell me shit. He ain't tell me how he got that. And I was like, and he's like, you can ask his ass though, so go ask him. That's my condition. You find that shit out, I'll help you out. And Gaal lied to his ass. Done. I'll do it. Knowing he's dead. Well, knowing that she thinks that he's dead, right? She don't know that he not dead, but she think he dead.
Wait, where is he?
He got taken by Calais. Remember? And they jumped through that portal.
Was this in season 2?
No, this was this season, like a couple episodes ago.
Oh, like he just walked off when he was old.
Yeah, he walked into a portal with.
Oh, so we don't know that he's dead. We just think she thinks he's dead based on what I thought he was dead too, based on that.
No, we just don't know where he went. And then
gotcha. Okay, so he in there chilling.
Pritchard speaks. He goes skin in the game. That's cool. We agree. So then Pritchard comes in and Gaal is in his mind, and he's like, Harry Seldon. And Gaal goes in his mind and says, he thinks Harry's alive. Don't tell him. And then Seldon says something about the mule story don't add up. He's like, what you mean? What you talking about, Willis?
Because Seldon gave a look. Do you think Seldon heard that? No, right?
No, because I don't think he can hear.
Okay.
I don't think he knows that shit. So then we cut the Trantor, and Dusk is eating his last meal. And he's got.
And it's the look. So again, he said he had sacrificed Brother Day's lamb. And so they lay it out as like the lamb is just slaughtered on the side on top of a bed of its own wool.
Cooked
and he's eating the little lamb brain. He's eating the little lamb brain. I mean, honestly, I was like, for how barbaric that is, it looks good.
It does look good.
I'm like, if that was on a bed of rice, but also like eating the little lamb brain is just like of all the diabolical things, extremely diabolical. He's just cutting to the lamb brain like it's a steak. But then again,
and then he was like,
shouldn't be eating.
He was like, oh
it
yeah,
just reminds me why we shouldn't eat meat in general, because the more I think about it, the more like we're just cutting into meat. We're just cutting into bodies anyway. We're eating living things.
Yeah, that's how the animal kingdom works.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Say your point again.
And then he realized, oh yeah, I'm supposed to do that dumbass napkin shit, and he snapped the napkin. And then we get a voiceover from Gaal showing all the male characters, basically saying, we don't know where our paths are going to lead, where everyone's paths are going to lead, but I know where mine is going to lead. And it's going to lead to the mule.
My man, my man, my man. That's what she says at the end.
With mutual death.
She goes, he ain't coming off of me.
And then we see her walk into the vault with Pritchard, and we're going into the finale.
Period.
Let's get into our, what's the word called?
Superlatives.
Let's get into our superlatives. So we already did the Nino Brown Award. That was clearly Brother Dusk earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So we have who is the most messy?
Gaal is the most messy.
Hold on, I gotta play it. You jumping ahead.
I forgot.
Stop letting the messy hoes mess with your business.
There you go.
Sorry about that. Gaal is the messiest because she always lying, always trying to get her thing, and she's so ravening it, and she's making it happen with her lies. But I think Gale's messy, and then I mean, obviously Dusk is pretty messy for doing all that, and Demerzel's messy for telling a lady she about to kill her whole planet and then making her walk out and forget that and then show up the next day not knowing nothing. So everybody who touched Empire messy as hell. Who do you think?
Oh, it's Gaal. It's definitely Gaal. And everything you said, I agree with.
Thank you. I'll give you.
The next one is Who Called a Fade.
You got knocked the fuck out, man.
We didn't get that much action this episode. Oh, I'm lying. Warden ass caught it the worst of everybody this whole season. Are you on mute?
No, I'm just laughing at my answer before I say it.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I know who caught the biggest fade in this episode. The Galactic Council, the Maiden, and Cloud Dominion.
Oh, yeah,
that's who caught the biggest fade.
I forgot that quickly that he killed 1 billion people. Also, not to mention Mary's Little Lamb. Mary's Little Lamb didn't do nothing to nobody. Like, and Sunmaster. A lot of fades were caught this episode. Actually, not the more I think about it. A lot of fades. They were all like, but I think the worst fade of all was definitely like the people who are just on their planet minding their fucking business and then zap. It's probably the worst.
All right,
they didn't even get a Silver. They didn't even get a Silver Surfer announcement. They didn't even get a warning.
I should have played Florida Evans when he killed them planets. That would have been a good soundbite. See, I don't be on it. I can
do it for you. Damn, James. That's the best I got.
Damn.
You were close.
Now tell me who did it better.
You did it better. You did it better.
Shut up. Okay. Well, that was fun.
What are you looking forward to in the season finale, Chanel?
I don't know what the hell is going on. It's gonna be a lot of math. I'm ready to wrap this up. What's gonna happen? Who's gonna kill who? Well, you know what I mean? Just give it to me American style. Just give it to me real, like, bad guys, good guys. Let's get this done.
I've thoroughly enjoyed this show. It's one of my favorites on TV. I'm both happy and sad that we're at the finale. I don't think we've got confirmation if they're doing a season 4 yet, or not. Let me take a quick look at that. Foundation season 4 confirmed? Question mark. No, Foundation has not been officially renewed for 4 seasons. So this could be our last season. So hopefully they go out with a bang.
They're doing a lot. They're putting a lot of money into the show. It's like, it is math heavy, but it's cool. You know, listen to us and let us get you hyped up about it. Please go watch the show.
We'll be back next week for the season finale. We'll also be back with episode 4 of Peacemaker. And in 8 days, we'll be starting our new show, Gen V.
Yay.
So we got a lot coming up. Gen V starts on the 17th. We're not going to record on the 17th, but Gen V comes out on the 17th. So we'll be recapping Gen V and the rest of Peacemaker. And then after that, we're going into Chanel's show, The Chairman. Is that what it's called?
The Chair Company.
The Chair Company. So that's what we got coming up next.
I'm so excited. And we're going to do God of War in the special episode. Chief of War. I do that every time. Well, anyway, guys, thanks for listening to our show, the We Was Watching podcast, which is a show for blurs and inspiring baddies who love sci-fi, fantasy, comedy, drama, and prestige TV shows and aren't afraid to talk about the race and politics underlying it all. I've been Chanel. This has been Brandon. You can follow us at our social handles, which are going to be in the show, but make sure you follow at We Was Watching. I got excited for a second because I thought that we hit 340 subscribers. We've been at 339 for a second, and then I went and we were back down, so I don't know what the fuck happened. But be our 340th subscriber, please. Thank you very much. We've had more than 100 episodes. We are close to 70 something videos, so we're trying to grow it out. I still need to post another clip for us to go another little viral short clip. I'm still working on that, but we're gonna get some for you guys and try to turn those around sooner. Yeah, this has been fun. I do appreciate that you've made me watch Foundation, because this is a show I never would have sat through, because it's very dense, and I usually end up just gravitating towards comedy or like police procedurals. So I'm glad to be experiencing it. I think it is amazingly diverse and a well told story that shows that you can tell these stories with all the actors of all the different backgrounds. And you know how I feel about Brandon P. Bell, most of all. So having a good time, enjoying it, looking forward to the finale, looking forward to Gen B. And honestly, I'm really excited about Peacemaker and what we're doing there. So we have a lot going on this show. Please share it with your friends. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube or Spotify and rate us. And if you email us at wewaswatchingpodcast@gmail.com, or if you give us a 5-star review, honestly, we read all the reviews. So if you review us on Apple Podcasts, we'll read it. And we only read the non 5-star ones if we're about to trash you. So you got three options: email us, give us 5 stars, and say something nice, say something not nice, and get your ass roasted. And that's the ways you can reach the show. Brandon, I think that's it. So thank you guys for listening.